This very destructive path, really, of narcissism and outright hatred towards the royal family.
Now, it's been 7 years since Meghan and Harry were married.
Peter Credlin, together with contributor Dan Wooten, go further, calling the ditch deal cataclysmic.
This is cataclysmic. This is a disaster. I mean, who do they blame for this? When they fell out with the royal family, they were able to say it were the horrible men in grey suits who were trying to hold us back, who were trying to stop us doing what we wanted to do. In fact, many of those men in grey suits said the same thing about Harry and Meghan.
What happens when the world's most controversial couple shows up uninvited to one of America's biggest arenas? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle expected a royal welcome at the 2025 Lakers game, but instead, they were met with awkward stares and chilly indifference. The message was loud and clear. They're not wanted anymore. On a night meant for basketball and Hollywood glitz, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stole the spotlight, but not in the way they hoped. Their unannounced appearance at the 2025 Lakers game sparked a wave of boos, eye rolls, and icy glares from a crowd that once embraced them. Even celebrity allies kept their distance. What unfolded wasn't just an awkward misstep, it was a public reckoning. Once hailed as bold outsiders defying royal convention, the couple now faces growing resentment as many view them as tone-deaf opportunists. Eyewitnesses weren't talking about the final score. They were stunned by the tension pulsing through the arena the moment Harry and Meghan walked in.
Very destructive path, really, of narcissism and outright hatred towards the royal family.
Now, it's been 7 years since Meghan and Harry were married.
Once celebrated as the transatlantic power couple redefining royalty, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's entrance into the Crypto.com arena was anything but triumphant. Dressed to impress and expecting the usual buzz of admiration, they instead walked headfirst into a storm of hostility, one so fierce even their toughest critics hadn't anticipated it. The murmurs started the moment their faces flashed on the Jumbotron, but instead of applause or curiosity, the crowd erupted into a relentless chorus of jeers. Loud, unforgiving boos rained down like acid, punctuated by chants of traitors and "Go back to the UK." Each barb landed like a punch, cutting deep. From the upper deck came a sharp taunt. "Where's your crown now?" A line that sparked both laughter and uneasy winces around it. The atmosphere shifted instantly. Irritation turned to raw emotion. Some fans crossed their arms, others pointed and laughed, while many pulled out phones to capture what was fast becoming a viral spectacle. This was no mere cold shoulder. It was a full-scale public rejection. Cameras caught every moment. Harry's jaw clenched tight, eyes scanning the sea of hostile faces for an ally that wasn't there. Meghan's trademark smile flickered briefly, but couldn't mask the tension around her eyes. She gripped Harry's arm a bit too firmly, her body language revealing a desperate attempt to hold it together.
Peter Credlin, together with contributor Dan Wooten, go further, calling the ditch deal cataclysmic.
This is cataclysmic. This is a disaster. I mean, who do they blame for this? When they fell out with the royal family, they were able to say it were the horrible men in grey suits who were trying to hold us back, who were trying to stop us doing what we wanted to do. In fact, many of those men in grey suits said the same thing about Harry and Meghan.
Her usual confidence seemed to dissolve under the harsh spotlight of public scrutiny. What made the moment even more humiliating was the context. Insiders revealed that the couple had not been formally invited, nor did they have proper VIP credentials. They simply showed up, perhaps assuming their star power would grant them entry. But in today's Hollywood, the tide has shifted. Being royal no longer carries the currency it once did. Whispers echoed through luxury boxes and celebrity lounges. Sharp and unforgiving. "What are they even doing here?" one producer was overheard asking. Another scoffed. Did they think this was a red carpet event? Rather than adding glamour, their presence only stirred tension. Celebrities nearby avoided eye contact. Some even turned their backs. This wasn't the fairy tale America Meghan and Harry once knew. Back in 2020, they were welcomed as brave rebels breaking free from royal tradition. But 5 years and a string of controversies later, the narrative has changed. Accusations of hypocrisy, oversharing, and opportunism have followed them. From media deals to memoirs, and the once sympathetic audience has grown weary. What unfolded at the Lakers game was more than an awkward moment. It was a clear message. Hollywood's patience had run out. The glamour, the sympathy, the star power, all had expired. The very people who once embraced them had turned their backs, loudly and without remorse. Their fall from grace played out on every screen in the Wayar arena and, within hours, across the globe. As Meghan and Harry took their seats, trying to maintain composure as if nothing had happened, one thing was painfully clear. They were no longer America's darlings. They were the outsiders at the party, and everyone knew it. The boos that rained down on them at the 2025 Lakers game may have shocked casual onlookers, but for those following their controversial journey since 2020, it felt like a long simmering volcano finally erupting. The eruption wasn't just about two royals showing up uninvited at a basketball game. It was the breaking point of years of mounting resentment, shattered goodwill, and a public perception that had soured, from admiration to outright disdain. From Hollywood to Buckingham Palace, from loyal royalists to casual fans, fatigue has set in. And here's why the backlash wasn't just loud, it was ferocious. When Harry and Meghan famously stepped back from royal duties in early 2020, it was presented as a pursuit of privacy and peace. But their departure, branded Megxit, was anything but smooth or subtle. Instead of quietly retreating, the Sussexes ignited a media firestorm by airing allegations of racism, neglect, and mistreatment within the royal family. For many, this felt like a betrayal, not just of the monarchy as an institution, but of the late Queen Elizabeth II, who had devoted her life to the crown. The shockwaves from their breakaway move still ripple, fueling much of the distrust and disdain they face today. While the couple insisted they were fleeing a toxic environment, the public couldn't ignore the timing, coinciding perfectly with lucrative commercial deals and a massive global rebrand. To royal loyalists, Harry was seen as betraying his family, and Meghan quickly became cast as the mastermind behind it all, the Hollywood actress who stole a prince and burned down the castle on her way out. Nothing has damaged the Sussex brand more than the stark contradiction between their words and actions. After condemning the British press for relentless intrusion, they plunged headfirst into high-profile media projects. Their explosive 2021 interview with Oprah was widely viewed as a full frontal attack on the royal family. Then came the 6-part Netflix documentary series, pulling back the curtain on palace life and painting the monarchy as the villain. As if that wasn't enough, Harry's memoir Spare dropped bombshell after bombshell. Frostbitten genitals, violent, sibling spats, drug use, and deeply personal family secrets, all packaged under the banner of healing. But the public saw through it. The narrative of privacy crumbled. They weren't stepping back. They were cashing in. People began asking, if you want privacy, why are you everywhere? Why monetize trauma? Why turn your royal exit into an entertainment franchise? One of the harshest critiques leveled at Harry and Meghan is that they have built their empire not on resilience, but on victimhood. Their public image revolves around being mistreated, misunderstood, and marginalized. From claims of palace racism to Meghan's revelations about suicidal thoughts. While mental health is a vital conversation, critics argue the Sussexes have commodified their suffering, strategically using emotional narratives to generate sympathy, sell content, and stay relevant. Spare wasn't just a memoir. It felt like a scorched earth campaign against his own blood. Harry threw everyone under the bus: his father, brother, Camilla, and even Queen Elizabeth, if only indirectly. Meanwhile, Meghan carefully curated image after image of the wronged Duchess, battling impossible odds. The public began to feel manipulated, emotionally. Critics didn't see survivors. They saw two experts playing a ruthless PR game with military precision. Once settled in California, the Sussexes leaned heavily into Hollywood's embrace. They secured multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix and Spotify, launched Archewell, and mingled with A-list stars. But with each new contract, the focus shifted further away from philanthropy and more toward content creation, celebrity branding, and staying in the headlines.
Began to feel emotionally manipulated. Their critics didn't see two survivors. They saw two professionals playing the PR game with military precision. Once they landed in California, the Sussexes leaned heavily into Hollywood's embrace. They secured multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix and Spotify. They launched Archewell. They mingled with A-list stars. But with each new deal, the focus shifted further away.
Their podcast deal with Spotify eventually collapsed after disappointing ratings. Meghan's archetypes show failed to gain the traction the platform had hoped for, while rumors circulated that producers found the couple difficult and unproductive. Hollywood was beginning to see them less as cultural icons and more as high-maintenance, high-risk talent. Then there were Meghan's post-royal ventures. Her much-hyped Netflix cooking show was supposed to be a fresh start, a lifestyle rebrand, filled with warmth, creativity, and empowerment. Instead, audiences found it superficial, a vanity project lacking depth or substance.